evening to one and all present here. I am Charisma, your MC for the day. Sleep is a golden chain that ties health and our bodies together. Did you know, as much as your waking hours are important for the success of life, so are your snoozing hours. And today, we invite you all for a webinar on the deep sleep mantra. Before we start, let's invoke the blessings of the Almighty. I now invite Gavin Phillips, 2nd BCom C, to lead us in prayer.
Thank you, Karishma. Good evening, everyone. Let us all join in prayer. Proverbs chapter 11, verses 14 says, "There is no guidance, people fall, but in abundance of counselors there is victory." Almighty God, ever-living God, hear our prayer and be in the midst of us today. Give us clear minds and peaceful heart as we gather today for this webinar, organized with the Department of Commerce. Loving, gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you asking for your blessings and guidance. Give us the desire to find ways to excel in your work and succeed in your glory. God our Father, bless the patrician family and help each and every one of us to stay united and to grow in strength. We place the special guest, the head of the institution, the faculty members, the student coordinators, and all the students of our college in your hand. Lord, we pray for your guidance and help us to rekindle our inner happiness. Lord, extend your divine wisdom to our speaker, Mr. Ignatius Raphael, so that he would be able to impact efficiently his God-given knowledge to all of us. May he be blessed as he continues to bring his expertise to people who need them. Lord, encircle us with your abundance and blessings. Dear Lord, we lift up to you our concern for the people who are affected by the COVID-19 virus. We pray for protection over every one of those who especially step out of their houses for work day in and day out. Be their strength and shield. Guard them from all danger and sickness. Fill our hearts with love. May your glory guide, guard, and protect us today and always. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Gavin. And now let's all welcome those who believe in the power of dreams and the ones who are yet to explore them. I now invite Dr. D. Unica, HOD Commerce, to welcome the gathering.
Thank you, Karishma. A good evening and a pleasant evening to one and all present here. It is indeed my honor and privilege to welcome you all on behalf of Department of Commerce SIFT 1, Patrician College of Arts and Science for this virtual meeting. Good Sleep Mantra. The title may sound strange and unique, but it is the need of the hour. If you could ask me, is it so important to have good sleep? Yes, it is. Even our Lord has given an exclusive promise for good sleep. The promise goes like this: when you lie down, you will be happy and your sleep will be sweet. Proverbs 3:24. Knowing this importance, why this webinar on good sleep? This pandemic has its own impact in the society in general and in an individual life. This bad sleep, which is something, has its own impact in everyone's life, which has to be treated and addressed at the right time. To talk more on this, today we have in our midst our special guest, our special speaker, Mr. Ignatius from Good Sleep Academy. Sir, we welcome you and wholeheartedly we thank you for accepting our humble invitation and spending your precious time with us. Thank you so much, sir. And I am being one of the very bad victims of this bad sleep. I know many will join with me and say that this webinar title, Good Sleep Mantra, is the need of the hour. And I think this session will be enlightened one for all the participants. My special welcome to all the participants, my beloved friends and colleagues, my beloved students. And at the outset, I would like to congratulate the coordinator, Mrs. Vaidegi ma'am, and all the students coordinator. And to for Shift 1, ma'am, we welcome you. Once again, we welcome all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. That was indeed one of the warmest welcomes we've received. Moving forward, I now invite Dr. B. Meena, Vice Principal, Shift 1, to felicitate the gathering.
I will start with a small quote. A good laugh and a good sleep are the best cures in the doctor's book. A very good evening to one and all present over here. At the outset, it is indeed a great pleasure to felicitate on behalf of management of Petition College of Arts and Science for this great initiative of organizing webinar on Right Sleep Mantra. Sleep is a vital, often neglected component of every person's overall health and well-being. The COVID-19 pandemic is seriously affecting the sleeping habits of half of those surveyed in a new study from the Royal and the University of Ottawa. Lockdown restrictions can affect health and well-being through the reduction of physical activities and of exposure to daylight, and the social isolation might increase the level of stress. These changes can impact daily activities as well as the sleeping pattern as well as the wake-up pattern. We are all witnessing the COVID-19 restrictions might impact even more adolescents, increasing their loneliness, negative effect, lethargy, and napping behaviors, screen time, and social networking, impacting the sleeping patterns and sleeping quality and schedule. That leads to further stress and anxiety plus further dependence on sleeping medications. So that is not advisable in the long run. So it's a need of the hour to make people aware of the importance of the sleeping at the correct time. I appreciate and congratulate the HOD Dr. D. Unica and the coordinator, Professor Vaidegi, faculty and the students for all your coordination in making this webinar a successful one. I thank our resource person, Mr. Ignatius, for accepting our invite to enlighten our participants in this life skill session, Right Sleep Mantra. Once again, I congratulate the department. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Sleep is an investment in the energy we need for an effective tomorrow. In today's busy world, no one seems to sleep in peace. But in my case, I love to sleep. It's like a hobby. If nothing else works, I'd rather sleep. And today's session is regarding our sleep. Keeping our excitement at bay, let's learn more about our chief guest. I now invite Saddam Hussain, 2nd BCom B student coordinator, to introduce our chief guest.
Thank you, Karishma. Good evening to everyone. I am privileged to be here today and introduce our chief guest. On behalf of the Petition family, I extend the hearty welcome to our chief guest, Mr. Ignatius Rafael. Mr. Ignatius Rafael, the deep sleep coach, who is a third-generation entrepreneur with over 30 years of experience. He has been a printer, author, publisher, graphic designer, branding consultant, content specialist, operation head in an animation company, director of an adventure and OBT company, a startup and strategy consultant for business owners. Before he turned into a deep sleep consultant, Sir was educated in Don Bosco School and Loyola College, Chennai. Learning and self-development has been his passion for the last 3 decades. He is on a mission to help over 10 million people to regain their well-being and happiness. He is an author of the upcoming book, The Deep Sleep Formula. He has practiced meditation from his late teens and undergone training in many healing methodologies, including Reiki, Yoga, NLP, Louis Hay, etc. He has been coaching other business owners for the last few years and finds that lack of adequate sleep is a silent killer to this stressed out community. He wants to help people to lead healthier and most productive and happier lives. And the right sleep is a great way to correct what's wrong in a person's life. He is a trained counselor who has ventured into deep coaching because of the untimely loss of a beloved friend who lost his life early because of sleep deprivation. He can help those who are struggling with poor sleep hygiene and consequent damage to their well-being. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
Saddam.
Saddam. I now invite Mr. Ignatius Raphael to take over the session.
Thank you, Karishma. And thank you, Saddam, for the excellent introduction. I first, and Dr. Meena for laying the foundation for this program by telling many things which I don't need to repeat later. Thank you so much. Gavin Phillips, that prayer was really beautiful. Thank you. Monica, I think I've left, probably missed a few people, but it's an excellent introduction. Thank you all so much. Can I now have the presenting rights for this? Is it, can the presentation be given by me? Vaidegi?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so. Okay, super. All right. So just before I start the presentation, I would like to just, it's 47 minutes I have left, all right, in this 1 hour. So what we'll do is, I will run through the presentations. It may take between 30 to 40 minutes. And after that, we'll have a 5 to 10 minute question and answer session. If you have a notebook and pen, it will be useful. Each of you, if you can keep a notebook and pen, because some things you'll be noting down, some things I may be asking you to calculate, because this is a mini workshop. You're going to discover how you're sleeping and how it's affecting you. So it's a workshop. You're not just going to passively listen. So please keep a notebook and paper with you. It's important that you note down immediately what is resonating for you, because for each of you, something different will strike as, hey, I need to use this. Hey, I need to implement this. And when you do that, when you note it down, it will happen. Otherwise, you'll forget. All right. So keep the notebook and pen and let's start. I will start my presentation now. Just give me a minute. Yes. Okay. Hope you're all able to see it. Please say yes if you're able to see the presentation. Can you tell me yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So this is a question for you. What would happen if we never slept? Just imagine that the human species does not need to sleep. What would happen? It's a question for you. You don't have to answer. Since if you're in a live workshop, I would have been able to interact. Now we have, time is short, less than 40 minutes. So I'm going to run through this. So, but this question, hold it in your head. Some of you would say that, you know, I can work more, I can work more money, or I can watch more football matches, or I can, you know, party all night with my friends, whatever. Each of us have different things. We feel that, okay, you have more time to do more things. All right. But it has been discovered that if you never slept, I mean, the maximum record is 11 days. This is when the Guinness Book allowed such records. But that person almost became suicidal. That is how bad it becomes. You'll start losing your mind in 2-3 days. Then your organs start failing. There's a lot of damage happens when you don't sleep. In this time, I want to remind you, you can live 3 days without food. I mean, without water. You can live almost 23 to 30 days without food, because we have a lot of stored fat we can live. There are many cases of people who have been able to live without food when they are lost somewhere for 23 to 30 days. But without sleep, more than 7 days, most people cannot last. They die. Okay, so that is how bad it is if you do not get to sleep. Now, suppose we are talking of never sleeping, right? What if we reduce 2 hours from our daily sleep? Instead of 8 hours, we do only 6 hours. What would happen? Think about this for you to think so that you know the danger of it. If you think nothing bad will happen, you will discover it as we go along. I will give you the background as we move forward. So this Dr. Matthew Walker, Professor Dr. Matthew Walker, He has got 23 years of experience in sleep science, in neuroscience, but specifically sleep. He's been researching sleep because he works with Alzheimer's patients, and he discovered the connection between sleep and Alzheimer's. And then he found the connection between sleep and a lot of mental disorders. Okay, because sleep, if they don't do properly, this mental disorder is a given. Sooner or later, it's going to happen. So that is how critical sleep is. So, and if we all slept enough, our healthcare burden would plummet. We would have better mental health and fewer suicides. Our business would be more productive. Global economies would be healthier. Our roads would be safer, and our children would be smarter. Sleep is a very best health insurance policy you could ever wish for. It is literally your superpower. You will discover this in the next 35-40 minutes. So these are the magic numbers. This is by the National Sleep Foundation. And the dark numbers you're seeing is the correct thing. Anything less or more is bad. So a newborn, toddler, now those, all of you are either in the 18 to 25 years. Most of the students will be in the young adult, which is 7 to 9 years. If you're less than 18, if you're 17, 16 and all, 8 to 10 hours is your ideal sleep time. For you to get the best benefit of sleep, this is the number of hours you need to give. It's scientifically proven. So it's given by the National Sleep Foundation itself. So most adults, okay, would be 7 to 9 hours. That means 8 hours plus or minus half an hour, 1 hour is okay. This is considered good. More is bad, less is also bad. Both are bad. It's about balancing. Okay. Now, we'll find out what your sleep score is. This is where your pen and paper is going to come in handy. So please take down your pen and paper. This is a world-renowned questionnaire. It's a SATED questionnaire. How satisfied are you with your sleep? That is, when you wake up, do you feel satisfied? If you're rarely satisfied, it's 0. If you're sometimes satisfied, it's 1. If you're always satisfied, it is 2. So please score yourself in each of these. Alertness. If you stay awake all day without dozing, rarely if you do, it's 0. Sometimes, that is 2-3 days in a week you do, it is 1. If you do most days, 6-7 days, then it is 2 in terms of alertness. Third is timing. Are you already asleep or just woken up in the middle, going to sleep between 2 and 4? That is, you're not getting into bed at 2. You have already been sleeping from 10 or 9 or 11. And in the middle, you're either asleep or you have just woken up to go to the toilet and you're coming back. So if that is the case, so rarely, that means that is you're rarely not sleeping in this timing, then it is 0. If you're always sleeping in this timing, it is 2. So what is your score? Fourth, efficiency. Suppose you get to bed at 9 o'clock, assume, but you sleep at 10:30. That means 1.5 hours you were awake in bed. So you have spent more than 30 minutes awake. It should be 15 to 20 minutes you were in bed awake. And in the middle, if you woke up at 2-3 o'clock, then another 5-10 minutes you went back to sleep. So totally 30 minutes you were awake when you were in bed. Then your efficiency is the highest. Always means 2, least, rarely, never means 0. Then the duration. If you're sleeping 7 to 8 hours, then always it is, then it is 2, rarely means 0. So what is your total score? Please put in your chat box. I'm going to stop the share now. I hope you all got this. I want to see the scores. So what is your score? Please put in the chat box. I'm going to stop the, I hope you got all of this, SATED. So can I see the scores? Yeah, Josephine has 8. So can I see the other scores? Yeah, somebody is 6, 7, Suraj is 7, Dr. Zeen at 7, go ahead, Nandini 6. Okay, Caroline 6, okay. Okay, so 7 and above is okay. 6 and below, you're a little sleep deprived. Okay, your sleep score is not that good. 8, 9, 10 is really good. 7 is okay, it's good. Below 7 is not good. So this is just for a quick, we have a more detailed one, but this is a very, what do you call it, widespread accepted norm, the SATED test. Okay, a lot of 6s and 7s. So it's all in the, fine. So we'll continue with, just give me a minute and I share the, yes. So fine. So how does the score affect you? I've already told you. If it's too little, that is less than 7, even after one night of too little sleep, your brain has more difficulty making decisions, concentrating and remembering things. And your reaction time is slowed. Your skin, the fine lines and wrinkles are more noticeable. This is just 1 or 2 or 3 days of less than 6 hours. Okay, of shut eye. Your appetite slows down. Okay, causing you to consume extra calories that you don't need, because otherwise the appetite is balanced. What it needs, it consumes. But here, because you're awake late in the night, it ends up consuming more. Immune system gets compromised and your eyes start drooping. Here I want to tell you, in the last 2 nights, I have hardly got any sleep, because I have gone to help a relative who is actually bipolar. I don't know if you know bipolar and schizophrenia. Okay, these are like higher levels of mental disturbances. And when he was a child, this boy has been sleeping less. Okay, he's been not been able to sleep easily. Over time, he's got into sleeping medicines. And it's come to a point where even if he takes more and more sleeping medicines, he's not able to sleep. Then, so it starts with first anxiety, fear or anxiety. Fear of anxieties then starts becoming into panic. Then it becomes manic. Okay. Then it becomes bipolar. Then it becomes schizophrenic. Finally, it becomes suicidal. So this is the way the brain starts breaking down. That is our ability. Why does all of this happen? Because our prefrontal cortex, the rational brain, the logical, the captain of the ship. This is a captain. It tells us right or wrong. So don't do this, do this. It gives permissions. Okay, it controls the animal brain, which is the amygdala. It controls it. The animal brain is very reactive. It's a fight or flee. Okay, if it sees a danger, it either fights or it runs away. So that is the amygdala brain. It's a primitive brain. In our brain, we have many sections. So this amygdala brain, if it is more dominant and the prefrontal is less dominant, then all of these issues come, because your ability to make a rational decision decreases. So your ability to be more violent increases. So all of these issues start happening because of, so he's now had an episode. Now, when you have such an episode, what happens is you have to, if he sleeps, it's good for him, but he finds it difficult to sleep. You understand? For years, if you had bad sleep hygiene, it's called sleep hygiene. The way, if you have not made it important for you, over time it starts breaking down. Why I'm telling you all of this, especially those of you who are studying now, who are 18, 19, 20 and all of that, you're at a stage where it's a fad to talk to your friends at 11, 12 and 1, to watch a football match at 2 o'clock, because anyway, that's happening in Europe, other places, so you have to watch live. Okay, you don't want to record it and watch it the next day, you want to watch it live. So we have all of these, because that's our modern life. It has all of this. Okay, but unfortunately, sleep was designed 1,000,000 years ago. It does not know about this modern internet and all the gadgets that you have, the electricity and the artificial light. It doesn't know about all of this. It was just designed for this. The design of sleep in the human being was done many years ago. So we are having a conflict. It's like the man-animal conflict that we have, no? And then what is happening? We're destroying animals' habitat, and slowly thousands of species are perishing every year. Finally, the earth will look very different than what it was when your grandfather lived. When your grandfather lived, the type of number of species that was there and what your grandchild is going to get is very different. We are destroying the planet. All right. Similarly, we are destroying our human body by having poor sleep hygiene, by giving into all these modern distractions and destroying our body by not providing it to sleep. I'll explain as we go along. You'll understand a little more of this. So the long-term more side effects from missing sleep is irritability, cognitive impairment. Okay, why I brought this up is I am going there to help them in the night. Okay, because he's right now he's not able to control his emotions, and they need help to reason with him and get him down. Because right now with COVID and all that, we cannot go to a hospital, clinic. There are many such things. So I need to be there because it's relative. Now, when I do that, I can see the change happening in me in just 1 day of lack of sleep, 2 days of lack of sleep. What happens? In fact, last night I must have had 2 hours of sleep. All right. Then this morning I did yoga nidra. We have other techniques to catch up on sleep. So I have done yoga nidra a couple of times, did one nap for 90 minutes in the middle. So try to catch up such that I am still, cognition is there. I'm able to address you all. I'll be able to answer questions. All of that is there. But I can still feel that impairment. I'm not 100%. I may be 95% or 90%. With just 1 day or 2 days of lack of sleep. Those who live 6 months and 1 year and 2 years without lack of sleep, they don't even know what their 100% is. They think I'm 100%. But they are in there. It's like these lorries, which go on the highway, which goes like this. It thinks it is stable because it's still moving. But the lorry is like this. It looks as though it's going to topple, but it keeps going. Hundreds of kilometers it goes. Okay, but it is out of balance. And it is damaging the insides more and more and more as it goes. That is how human beings function. When we function in an impaired fashion, that is, we have less capabilities than we actually possess. We have the potential, but we removed the capability by our habits. Now we think we are like this only. I forget things, okay, or my eyes are like this only, or we make excuses. We say it is okay to be like that. That is, we have become comfortable with the blemishes, which we do not need to have. If we just decide that, no, I want my memory to be good. I want my energy levels to be good. I want my strength to be good. I should be able to run 20 kilometers in 2 hours. Or, those type of things. These are my, I will not settle for less. So when you do that, then you know that, okay, this is my standard. I am here. I have to get there. And then you can start correcting yourself. So for you to hold yourself at a higher standard, you should know that you have over the years been cut off. It will start happening without your knowledge. That is an unfortunate part of it. So as I said earlier, decreased creativity, increased stress, ADHD type of symptoms, impaired immune system, diabetes risk, decreased testosterone, your fertility levels will drop, your ability to have children will drop. So the future of the human species is at stake if overall average sleep of the human race falls less than 6 hours per day. It was in the beginning of the century, it was 8.6 hours was the average, beginning of the 20th century, that is 1900s and all that. Now, by the end of the 20th century, by the year 2000, and even now, it has come down to something like 6.8 hours. We are already lost 2 hours. If we go below 6, our ability to beget children itself gets hit. As you know, a lot of developed countries, their population is decreasing because their ability to get children itself is decreasing. One is they refuse to get married early. 2 is when they get married, they postpone children. 3rd, when they want to have children, they cannot have children. then they have to go for testing baby. All of these issues are happening because of sleep. Okay, one simple thing. If you're not able to get this right, when we get this right, everything else starts falling into place. You'll understand as we go along. So increased heart rate risk, tremors, arches, growth separation, obesity. So all of this happens because of sleep loss. So what can you do to avoid them? This is a little bit of sleep science. Because it's very, very key. Okay, I like you to understand how this works. So what you see as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is, these are 5 cycles. Okay, we sleep in cycles of 90 minutes. And the cycle, how it works is, awake state is the first state, REM, that is rapid eye movement state, is the second state, light sleep is the third, fourth is deep sleep. And then we come back up to light sleep, REM, sometimes we touch awake state or go back again to light sleep. So the wave goes like this. And over a 5 hours, 7.5 hours of sleep, we spend in the first 3 cycles, especially the first 2, in deep sleep. If you notice, that time is when the organ repair happens. The brain's neurons and all get added, repaired, cleaned out. If you don't do this, your brain is not active. It is not what it is supposed to be doing. And over the years, as we keep depriving us of deep sleep at that time, our ability to be more intelligent, smart, creative, innovative, critical thinking, problem solving, all of these abilities starting, memory, all of this starts decreasing just because we deprived ourselves of this particular activity. The 3rd, 4th, and 5th, if you notice, REM sleep. In REM sleep is when we consolidate all the things that we've inputted during the day and we make sense of it. In REM sleep, when you get full REM sleep, your ability to read other people or ability to connect with other people, they're emotionally increases tremendously. This REM sleep only made humans the superior race, where we are now the superior race, a superior species in the world. We own the world, right? Humans race, human species is what is dominant species. So it has happened because of our ability to collaborate, to think, to work in teams, and then overcome bigger, faster, stronger adversaries. Okay, we've demolished all the other animals who are much more powerful than us because of our ability to build tools, to collaborate, to hunt in packs, and to build habitats, secure ourselves, build dams. We've learned to do so many things which help us to make this world fit around us. So much so now we think that we can, nature does not matter. We can go beyond. We have got to that state. So let us not go as deep as that. So the idea is these five cycles are very critical, and it has to be done between 10 p.m. and 5:30 a.m. That is between 11 and 3. You should be in that 1 and 2 cycle. Those 3 to 4.5 hours you should get between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. because that is when the timing is important. Why the timing is? That is when the housekeeping crew cleans up all our organs. Liver at this time, heart at this time, gallbladder at this time. So the housekeeping crew works on a schedule. If you're awake, it does not work that night. It gives up. It's like the housekeeping crew in an IT firm, no? They'll go to that room at that time. Room is occupied. It is not free to be cleaned. They'll go away. They'll come only next day. They're not going to wait for you. They won't say, okay, whenever this room gets cleared, I will do. They will not do. They'll just go. That's what happens in our sleep also. The housekeeping crew, the ones which are cleaning all the toxins and repairing those cells in that organ, will not do that organ if you are not sleeping between 11 and 3. So this is all science. There's a lot backlog behind it. I don't want to get into it because of lack of time, but you can Google this and check this. It's very easy. Okay, but it's a very critical information for you because a lot of people think it's okay to sleep at 12, okay to sleep at 1 if I get 8 hours. It is not okay. Okay, it is okay to get sleep, that is your rest. There are two drives. One is sleep drive. The longer you don't sleep, your urge to sleep will increase. So that is satiated if you get your 8 hours sleep. But your circadian drive, which is to do with the sun rising and setting, that will not get set. So according to circadian drive only, this housekeeping crew works. So if you're not there asleep at that time in deep sleep, you miss it. So that is the beauty of this. Please be aware of it. So what happens during sleep? Non-REM sleep, which is the light sleep and deep sleep, toxins are flushed out, unused synapses of the brain are pruned, recovery and learning. Mental for students is extremely important. What happens is, when you read something or learn something, it's first stored in short-term memory. It's in the hippocampus. Okay, from hippocampus, it is moved into long-term memory in the cortex. When you sleep, the slow brain waves pick up this thing and goes and deposits it in the cortex. Now, it happens only during deep sleep, the REM, non-REM sleep. So, if you give yourself that sleep after you've studied, the memory will be cleared from the temporary cache and put in permanent cache. So next day morning, it's fresh again for you to take in more. And then if you have a nap or a sleep, so for students, they can have multiple naps also. So that they study, then they nap, study and nap. That's a great way of picking up. I'm not talking of it in the college parameter, but basically what you picked up is stored away when you sleep. So sleep is not a bad thing for students. If you study in the night, you're cranking yourself you're working on an engine without oil. You have to work very hard to give half or 1/10 the output. The same thing, if you utilize your sleep along with your studies, your ability to extract more improves. So you can again Google this subject to understand how learning is affected by sleep. So when you search for that, you'll find your hacks, which will help you to study better, remember better, and do less number of hours. You don't have to study the same thing 3 times. You study it once, you read it once, you have a good rest, you sleep over it, they say, no? It gets recorded and stored in memory. So that when the time comes for the exam, you can bring it up. So these are the things which happen in non-REM sleep. In REM sleep, what happens is physical recovery from workouts happens. Okay, so your tone muscles get repaired, and whatever new exercises you've learned and all gets encoded in memory. Creativity, problem solving happens. And any new physical skill, you've learned a piano, you've learned a new football skill or cricket skill or whatever, when you practiced it and you've slept, you've got your rest after that, your ability to replay it becomes better. That happens during REM sleep. See the amount of things that's available. I'm not going to go into this. This is a little more detail of this because I want to go to a point where we can start interacting. So this is what I teach in my 5-day boot camp. So basically your morning routine, first hour after waking up, and your night routine, the last hour before you sleep, are your critical times. The first hour, the PM hour, you have to have 1 hour routine where you don't touch the mobile phone, where you don't touch TV or other things. You are diving into yourself. So you'll have 20 minutes of meditation, prayer, connecting with the Creator, 20 minutes where you move your body, you exercise, and 20 minutes where you learn something. When you do this 1 hour is the most potent. Okay, and you set it with a purpose. How can I best serve the day? What is my life purpose, and what is that I can do today? So it's like sharpening the axe. You're preparing your body, mind, emotions, and soul to work for you 100% during the day. And if you do 100% during the day, your ability to sleep increases tremendously because you're fulfilled. You have done the best that you can for the day. So your natural sleep will come very, very easily. You don't have to struggle at all. And even then, we have a night routine. The night routine is where you sign off from the day. You have your food 2-3 hours before dinner. Okay, the 1 hour before you have a shower, you get yourself, you pamper yourself so that your ability to go to sleep will increase. Give gratitude, give forgiveness or seek forgiveness for what you've done. Prepare for the next day, do a to-do list. So we have a bunch of things you do as a night routine. When you do these two, your day gets corrected by the morning routine and the night gets corrected by the night routine. And together, your day and night will be good. So night is gratitude, morning is purpose. When you do them together, your health, wealth, and happiness can be built and you'll reach your dharma. I mean, that's a more, I don't want to get further into that particular part. So I'm going to now take you into one more, just give me, it's 42. Just give me one. Are you able to see the new screen? Sleep is your superpower. Are you able to see? No?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. I thought you're not able to see. Just a minute. Let me quickly take you through that and then we'll go for question and answers. So sleep itself is your superpower. Why is it your superpower? Because your body is healed while you're sleeping. You don't have to do any extra work. It is automatically healing when you're sleeping. How much, what more do you want? You don't have to go to a doctor. You don't have to go to a pharmacy. You don't have to have any operation. While you're sleeping, your body is repairing every cell, every organ. Dead cells are flushed out. Cortisol levels lowered. Housekeeping time. Cellular, all of this is happening when you're sleeping. It protects you. It protects you from accidents. We won't make errors because our mind is fuzzy from lack of sleep. It protects you from aging prematurely. It protects you from becoming fat. Those who don't sleep properly, let's say you're awake at 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock, you'll end up going and raiding, okay, is there a sweet, a donut, or this or that? You're craving for sugary foods, for carbohydrates. And whatever workout, exercise, or other things you did in the morning, all the good things get wasted because in that craving, you are losing out on your, so you're becoming fat, heart attacks, early death, Alzheimer's, all of this happens. It protects you from it if you just sleep. Your brain gets improved tremendously. Your memory, your cognition, your decision-making skills, problem-solving skills, critical skills, all of this get improved just by sleeping. No extra work. You don't have to go attend a workshop. Don't have to do anything. Just give it at that timing, give it the duration, and give it the quality. These three, if you give, that's all. Timing, duration, quality of sleep. You're going to get all of these benefits. You're not paying 1 paisa to anybody. Okay. It is just happening naturally for you. Your physical body, okay, all of that we've done already. Improves your brain, improves your look. They say no beauty sleep. Youthful look, skin tone improves, skin suppleness, reduces wrinkles, reduces dark circles, eyes shine better. All of this happens by just your beauty sleep. Now I want you all to type in the chat box. I will see it later, but just type it now. What do you think my age is? Okay, just type my age without Googling it or searching. Just by looking at me, what do you think my age is? And type it there. All right, we'll come back to it when we come to question and answers. So skin tone, skin suppleness, wrinkles, dark circles, all of this improves because of that. Emotions. Your relationships get better because you sleep. You're more relaxed, you're calmer, you're more loving, you connect better with people. Your learning, your career, your finances, your learning, all of that improves. You become more productive, decision-making, energy, better relations, better problem solving, ability to spot opportunities increases tremendously. Okay, because of this. And then finally, your hormonal production. These are all very critical organs. If these organs are functioning properly, and they function properly when you go to bed at the right time and wake up at the right time and give it a proper sleep, these organs will start working by itself. Okay, and so the beneficial hormones are HGH, is a human growth hormone. If the lack of production of that comes down, that's when cancer and all starts happening. See, the muscle building and all of that happens because of HGH. Okay, so at a younger stage, anyway, HGH is produced. But when you sleep, Give it that full sleep. That's why the younger kids sleep 10 hours, 12 hours, 18 hours and all of that. From an infant who sleeps for 18 hours, it slowly starts decreasing till an adult where it comes to 8 hours. What happens when you're an infant? HGH is getting produced because your body is building, you're getting taller, becoming wider. Now, HGH can get produced even when you're 60 or 70. You can still build muscles, okay, if you give it that sleep. Because we deny ourselves a sleep and we get busy with other things, that our muscle becomes less, we are not able to build it like that. So these are things that you can do by just sleeping. You'll start burning body fat, melatonin production increases, and decreased production of your cortisols and their non-beneficial hormones increase. So that is hormonal production. So I'm going to stop the share now. I'm going to your FAQ. We can go straight away because our time, I may not have enough time to answer all the questions. So I will come back to you now. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Okay. 70, 68, 58, 49, 70. Nice. I have such a big range of age. So I could look like a 45-year-old. I can look like a 70-year-old. Awesome. Okay. 75, 80-ish also. Okay. Very nice. Thank you. So I'm not going to give you the answer because you guys have... Somebody else is presenting. Is there a problem of presenting? Okay. Now, what are there any questions which I can answer? Because I've been talking so far, I want to know how much you've understood. Okay, I want each of you to type 2 things you learned. Okay, even just one thing you learned and one practice you're going to do. That is one decision you took that you're going to do. So just type that here in the chat box. One thing you learned and one practice you're going to do. Please type it in the chat box. And then those who have questions can say me question and I'll call your name, then you can speak. Is that okay? Can we do it like that? Because otherwise all 80 people start talking, it'll be difficult. So those who have a question, you can put your name and put a question. The others can just type. Tian Lincoln, what is yes sir? 4:49 p.m. Tiana, is it? Who's that?
The point that you mentioned, sir, that each participant can just type in me and then you will ask. So I said, yes, sir, we can go ahead like that.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you so much. Okay. So please type what you've learned. 1, what was important for you as a top learning, and 2, what practice you're going to do because of that. So can you just type that? Okay, Gavin, REM sleep is what I learned about. Okay. What practice are you going to do? What change because you have attended this? Is there something you feel you need to change, or is everything you're doing okay? Yes, not using my phone as soon as I wake up. Excellent. So phone and TV and phone and all that, 1 hour before sleep, 1 hour after sleep, to be avoided. That will improve your life tremendously. Tremendously, I can't tell you. If you read up about all those super successful people, they do that. That 1 hour before sleep and 1 hour after sleep, they do not get distracted with outside messages and social media or any such thing. Good question, Karishma. How much time should a human normally take to fall asleep? Around 20 minutes is the right time. Between 10 to 20 or even 30 minutes is okay. Beyond that, you're having a sleep deprivation. I mean, you have a sleep problem. If you're sleeping in 1 minute or 2 minutes also, that means you have not slept enough earlier. Previously, you have some accumulated sleep deficit. That's why as soon as you hit bed, you go to sleep. It's not that you have a good sleeping habit. It is a bad sleeping habit. So the solution for that is no alarm clock for waking up. If at the end of this, this session, if all of you can understand, throw away the alarm clock. If you want to wake up at a particular time, let us say you want to wake up at 6, give 8 hours earlier and go to sleep. Now, if you're still sleeping beyond 6, That means you have accumulated sleep deficit. So just allow yourself 1 week or 2 weeks it will take. For 2 weeks, you sleep without alarm. Find out what time you're waking up. Today in lockdown, you can afford to do it. Okay, go to bed at 10 o'clock and don't bother about alarm. Wake up when your body feels refreshed enough to wake up. Then after that, it will settle down. Then you'll know I'm sleeping 7.5 hours, 8 hours, 8.5 hours. So whatever your normal time is, you pre-plan it and sleep ahead so that you wake up at the time you want to wake up. Fine. Any questions which I have missed? No point going where 1 AM sleep. Yeah, okay. Suraj, that's a good thing. Yes, going to bed at 1 and sleep for 8 hours you are getting the rest, but you're not getting the repair and rejuvenation of your body organs. That is the unfortunate part. Yeah. Yes. Indrajit, yes, very good. Thank you. Karishma, what are the signs of sleep deprivation? So the sign, I shared one slide which had signs of sleep deprivation. So you are not fully alert first. Okay, and when you wake up, you're not satisfied. During the day, you're not fully alert. And suddenly you're feeling sleepy. These are all types of signs of sleep deprivation. Can I compensate right sleep with that of the daytime? Night sleep with no. Yeah, so the WHO has actually termed night duty as carcinogenic. You can Google it and find it. It's called carcinogenic. Night shift work is termed hazardous and carcinogenic. It cannot be done away with. The armed forces do it. There are 24/7 industries, so they are working like that. But it has been termed now as carcinogenic. There was enough evidence to show that those who work at night are compromising their health. And it cannot be done for a long time. They can work for a few years, but they are depreciating their health. That is a problem. So day sleep cannot make up for night sleep. But you can sleep 6 hours in the night and 2 hours in the day. That is okay. That means you're going to bed at 10 or 11, you're waking up at 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever. And so the shortage of sleep you're making up in the afternoon, between 2 and 3 or 2 and 3:34. That is okay. Yeah, Sudha, if you're not able to sleep in the night, yet you're able to feel fresh in the morning, your memory is not impaired, all your things are working fine, all your faculties are working fine, then there's a very rare condition, 1 in 20,000, where they can make do with less sleep. That is 1 in 20,000. It's a very rare genetic condition. Probably you have it. It has to be tested in a sleep lab. So I can't say whether you have it or don't have it. But if you're absolutely 100% clear, and others also say that you're 100% clear, then it is fine. Okay. But I can't just by seeing here tell whether it is possible or not. It's a very rare. Okay. Is it normal to have broken sleep pattern? Yes, it is okay. As we said, no, every 90 minutes you tend to wake up. You may wake up every 90 minutes or in a 5 cycle once or twice in the night. It is okay. Second is you could sleep 6 hours in the night and 2 hours in the afternoon. That is called polyphasic sleep. That is allowed. Late night shift, that's what, it's bad. It's carcinogenic. Indrajit, so that is Nitya. So till now I go late to bed, but after getting out of the way, I'm planning to sharp at 10. Very good, thank you. I've seen so many people who suffered because they come for the sleep camp after a lot of damage is done. So that's why I'm sharing it with you. You don't have to experiment on yourself and get yourself hurt unnecessarily. That's why. What are the side effects in day sleep? What do you mean by side effects in day sleep, Kalidas? You can unmute and speak. Kalidas, I can, okay. Salim, you have asked how many hours sugar patient can sleep. There is no difference between sugar patient. If you're an adult, your sleep time is 7 to 9 hours. That's it. So sugar patients who sleep more or less and all is not at all. There is no such, it's a myth. What are signs of things learn lack of sleep? Nowadays, almost Online, will it create any problem? Online work will not create any problem in your life, not at all. So that, I mean, other than you have to have a non-glare screen, have right eye protection. Other than that, for sleep and health, it need not cause. Do your exercise, do other things to keep yourself. Online work is the norm. It is going to get further and further like that. So, but since we are missing in-person work, where we are walking from classroom to classroom, we are doing more exercise when we go out, right? Now, probably you have less energy or enthusiasm to do it. So you have to compensate by doing enough exercise. But online work will not spoil you, not at all. I'm not sure if I'll be able to answer everybody. If anybody has a question which is important, you can unmute and ask. So Indrajit, so people don't get enough sleep. They try to manage it with intake. Coffee is really bad. Coffee's half-life is 6 hours. Quarter life is 12 hours. That's the amount of time it takes to get dissolved from your bloodstream. And since if you drank coffee in the afternoon, in the night, the graph, it will show a disturbed sleep pattern. Your deep sleep will not be a deep curves. There'll be a disturbed sleep pattern because the caffeine is in the blood. So caffeine is very bad. It should be, I teach that in my workshop. Only morning coffee is allowed. Afternoon, evening, once in a while, if you want, you take, if you are addicted to it. But if you can give it up, it is perfect. So trying to keep yourself awake with coffee and other things it's a short-term gain, long-term pain. That's all. You're getting a short-term gain. Today's whatever your urgency you're solving, but you're building a long-term pain. And I've seen those who've suffered from such long-term. Like last 2 nights, I've lost my sleep because of that. And that person is pretty young. He's only 25. Okay. But he's already suffered so much. I know another person who's 35, who's suffered for 9 years with so much of drugs and different treatments because he is not able to flush out all the damage which is done in the previous 8 years of his life. Okay, where he just didn't sleep. He was so thing on succeeding. So he grew very fast in his corporate career. From 19 or 20, he started working. He just grew very fast in his company because night and day he worked, but at the cost of his health. Till one day he just collapsed in a presentation after about 7-8 years of this type of a life. And then he went into treatment and this and that. And the next 8-9 years was hell. And then I met him in my workshop. And then things have started. But the thing is, the damage, it's been enormous. He lost his wife and kid. I mean, they separated. He lost his job. He lost his health. Then he started losing his money. Everything what he earned and made good went away because of his habits. Okay. Do the mental stress leads to more sleep? Sorry, Ishrat, I don't get that. No, mental stress definitely does not lead to more sleep. Okay, so you have to find other ways of relieving the mental stress. You can do it by different things, by exercise, by more healthy habits. If you do exercise, that itself will remove a lot of stress before your sleep time. Don't exercise just before sleep. Either in the morning or afternoon if you exercise, and have a shower 1 hour before sleep, you will be good. You'll slowly start getting more relaxed and be able to get to sleep. So, and mental stress is worries and other things. There are different things like journaling. There are many different, there are hundreds of things. You can go through my website. I will share you that might help you. Sleeping music, sleeping music really helps. You can do that. Yes. Sleeping music, affirmations, all of that are very useful. You can use that. Any practical tips to get good sleep for adults? First is a belief system. You should know what is the right time, what is the wrong time to sleep. So once you know the right time, just decide and go to it. It starts with a decision. Once you decide and you commit yourself to it, You will get your sleep. Your body, it's a natural thing. You don't have to go to school and college and learn how to sleep. It is very, very natural. But it starts with a decision. Because today we are so caught up with so much of distractions and the fear of missing out that we want more and more. And we don't have enough hours. So we start stealing from our sleep hours. When you steal hours from your sleep, sleep steals years from your life. I lost a friend who was just 40 years old. He died, no other condition except lack of sleep. He just died with a heart attack. He was not even 40. Okay, perfectly healthy guy, rich guy, successful guy, everything. But he used to work longer hours. Because that's why he became more successful. After family, he'll sleep, he'll work another 2 hours. Then early morning, he'll go for a run because he's very health conscious. Okay, so he had to do everything correctly. He didn't want to miss out on anything. But then we could not enjoy him beyond that. Though he had so much of potential, he could have gone really high, but he's no more. Just last year he died. That is what made me to join this, to start a course like this, because so many people are making this mistake. So I don't want more and more young people to make such a mistake and then lose their life. That's why I'm here. Does oversleeping cause any problem? Yes, it does cause a problem. Oversleeping happens because you're not getting the full oxygen levels when you're sleeping. So you might have some kind of a disturbance inside, sleep apnea or something, snoring, sleep apnea, different problems. So you check with a doctor, because only if there's some sort of disturbance there, you're not getting the full oxygen levels when you're breathing while sleeping. So you're sleeping longer hours. Otherwise, the body will not take more than what it needs. The body will get up the minute it has got its full rest. You don't have to worry. Okay, that's why I say follow your body. Your body has an intelligence. Now, our intelligence should not override the body's intelligence. Body is doing its work. We should do our work. We should not mix up these two. Okay, and we should not override the body's intelligence. Okay. Is yoga nidra anyways related to good sleep? Yeah, yoga nidra is a 10-minute practice with an audio, which helps you. If you visit my website, there's a yoga nidra audio there, which will give you like 1 to 2 hours of sleep. This you can do when you're traveling, you're in different time zones, your body clock is disturbed, or like me, I had this night I have to take care of this patient. So these type of things, when it happens, you can make up for that lost sleep by using the yoga nidra. You can get it. You can Google it also. You'll get it. Yoga nidra. What about people living in India but following timeline of UK and US? Yeah, so that's called shift working. So in our night shift, they are working their day shift. So our night circadian rhythm works by our sunset and sunrise. So based on our sunset and sunrise, if we sleep, we are healthy. Okay, that is a healthy sleep. Any other sleep is not a healthy sleep. You get rest, but it's not healthy. Okay. So can you give quick idea for good sleep? Monica, you please go through my, I'll share you my 1 minute. Let me share you all my courses, web, Facebook. Okay, I'll just give you all of this. I'll just put it in the chat. So you can go to my blog, you can go to the Facebook, then my courses, all of that are there. 1 minute, let me see what else is there. I'm also going to share you the link for my 5-day workshop for those of you who want to. You can see about that also. Okay, so you can just click and see what is there in each. Whether you're joining it or not doesn't matter. So the other thing, my website will give you all the data. From there, you can see my YouTube link, my Facebook. I've shared a lot of content there. Just go through a lot of your questions. What you're asking here can be answered there. And you can subscribe to it, get emails and so on. So that way you'll be in touch. Okay, we have overshot our time, I think. We are now 5-6. So is there anything else that we need to answer now? Any important question that you feel needs to be asked? LinkedIn also you want? Okay, the name is Ignatius. The extension will be Ignatius Raphael. That will be the extension. Okay, both LinkedIn, it's Ignatius Raphael or Ignatius.Raphael will be the extension in LinkedIn and Instagram and everything. Okay, cool. All right, so from my side, I'm done. If there's any other, I can spend 2 minutes more if you're okay with it, and then we can wind up. So, ma'am, over to you. Karishma, are you taking over or?
Yes, sir, we are here. Vaidegi ma'am, over to you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you so much for accepting our invitation. I didn't know how this right sleep, lot of consequences and other things. We are really surprised to, study many things. Many are really, we wanted to explore more through your website, and it is very, very useful for our students. And I can also see a lot of students are asking a lot of questions. So I think it's a very, very successful webinar. I thank management and our department for all the initiative they have taken and conducted this webinar. Thank you so much, sir. Definitely, we will follow all your knowledge, sir, here, and definitely we are going to see the website also for further doubts and queries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for answering our questions. Now we've understood that the best bridge between despair and hope is a good night's sleep. I now invite Diana Lincoln, second MCOM PG representative, to render the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Charisma. A pleasant and wonderful evening to one and all. It gives me immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of the Commerce family of Patrician College of Arts and Science. I would like to thank God Almighty for His abundant blessings showered upon us today. I would like to thank our chief guest, Mr. Ignatius Raphael, who graced this event and gave us an insight on how sleep plays a major role in human lives. It reminds me of the lines by Walter Reich, an Austrian director and screenwriter. Tired minds don't plan well. Sleep first and plan later. Thank you, sir, for helping us realize that we need to practice and give our mind and body the adequate rest to function well. I would like to extend my gratitude to our Director and Secretary, Reverend Brother Arukya Raj, our Academic Director, Dr. Fatima Vasant, our Principal, Dr. Usha George, our Vice Principal Shift 1, Dr. B. Neena, our Vice Principal Shift 2, Ms. Arukya Mary Geeta Das, our HOD of Commerce Department, Dr. Unica, our IQAC Coordinator and Advisor, Dr. Nagajyoti, and our Coordinator, Ms. T. Vaidegi Ma'am, for guiding us in making this webinar an effective one. I would like to specially thank the technical support team, Dr. N. Purushottam Sir, Dr. Durai Arisan Sir, and Mr. Martin Peter Sir for all the help extended to us. I also render my gratitude to all our faculty of Commerce Department for their constant support. I would like to thank all the student coordinators, representatives, and my dear friends for making this day a fruitful one. Last but not the least, from the core of my heart, I specially thank all the participants and viewers for your presence. You have been such wonderful listeners, and we hope this webinar will bring about a good change in your lifestyle, leading you to a step forward to achieve a healthy and active body and mind. I thank the wonderful MC, Mrs. Charisma, for reminding us of the beautiful lines of the English dramatist Thomas Dekker. Sleep is like the golden chain that binds our health and body together. Yes, my dear friends. So make sure that you bind your health and body together with that golden chain, that is sleep. And remember to stay fit and healthy. and most importantly, stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tiana. In Shakespeare's language, our future depends on our dreams. So let's all sleep in many peace. This is Charisma G, second BCom B, signing off. Stay home, stay safe, and most certainly sleep well. Au revoir, dormir bien.